When Aarav was 12, the only thing that made him feel powerful was a torn comic book of Hulk he had found in the trash behind a bookstore. At school, he was invisible. His father had died in an accident at a construction site. His mother worked double shifts at a hospital laundry room. Aarav wore faded uniforms and carried second-hand books with other students. Names scratched out on the first page. And then there was Kabir. Kabir was rich, confident, and cruel in a quiet way. He didn't punch Aarav. He didn't need to. His words were enough. "Careful," Kabir would whisper when Aarav walked by. "If you get any angrier, you might turn green." The class would laugh. Every day, Aarav swallowed his anger. Every insult burned inside his chest like acid. At night, he would lie awake staring at the cracked ceiling, imagining what it would feel like to transform, to grow stronger, bigger, impossible to ignore. "The angrier I get, the stronger I become," he would whisper, repeating the line he loved from his comic. But real life wasn't a comic. One afternoon, Kabir crossed a line. During a school exhibition, Aarav presented a small science project, a homemade energy model he had built from scrap wires and discarded batteries. He had worked on it for weeks. Kabir walked up, examined it, and smirked. "This looks like something your father would build before he died," he said loudly. The room went silent. Something inside Aarav cracked. His hands trembled. His vision blurred. For a moment, he felt heat rush through his veins. He imagined desks flying, walls shaking, everyone stepping back in fear. But he didn't transform. He stood there, helpless. The teacher intervened. Kabir was warned. The crowd dispersed. That evening, Aarav sat alone on the rooftop of his building, tears mixing with anger. "I don't want to be a monster," he whispered to the sky. "I just don't want to feel small anymore." A strange thing happened then. Not magic. Not lightning. Not a chemical accident. Just clarity. He realized the Hulk wasn't powerful because he destroyed things. He was powerful because he survived everything thrown at him. The world hit him, betrayed him, feared him. And he still stood. Aarav wiped his tears. "If I can't become a monster," he said quietly, "I'll become unstoppable." From that night, he changed. While Kabir partied, Aarav studied. While others slept, he worked online, learning coding, engineering, anything he could access for free. His anger became fuel. Every insult replayed in his head, not to hurt him, but to push him. Years passed. Pain hardened into discipline. The monster inside him didn't roar anymore. It focused. And one day, the boy they mocked disappeared. In his place stood a man building something far greater than revenge. But fate wasn't done yet, because the past was about to walk back into his life. And this time, the monster would finally be tested. 10 years later, Aarav stood inside a glass tower overlooking the city. He was no longer the boy with torn shoes. He was the founder of a fast-rising clean energy company that investors were calling revolutionary. The same kind of energy model once mocked in his school exhibition was now attracting international attention. His office walls were simple. No flashy decorations. Just one framed page from that old comic. The only thing he had kept from his childhood. His assistant walked in one morning with a file. "There's a candidate here for the operations manager position," she said. "Strong résumé, but complicated background." "Send him in," Aarav replied calmly. When the door opened, time seemed to slow. "Kabir!" The confidence was gone. His suit was expensive but worn at the edges. His eyes carried exhaustion instead of arrogance. Kabir froze when he recognized him. "Aarav?" Aarav leaned back in his chair. For a second, the rooftop memories returned. The laughter. The insult about his father. The heat rose again in his chest. The monster stirred. Kabir swallowed. "I didn't know this was your company. I really need this job." There it was. Power. The kind he had once dreamed of. The ability to crush someone with a single word. He could humiliate Kabir. He could remind him of everything. He could finally unleash years of silent rage. Instead, Aarav stood up and walked toward the window, staring at the skyline he had helped power. "You once told me I'd never build anything meaningful," Aarav said quietly. Kabir lowered his gaze. "I was young, stupid." "No," Aarav replied. "You were strong, and I was weak." He turned around. "But weakness isn't permanent." Silence filled the room. "The strongest version of me," Aarav continued, is not the one who destroys. It's the one who builds. Kabir's voice shook. So, what happens now? Aarav picked up the file and signed it. You're hired, he said. Kabir looked stunned. Why? Aarav allowed himself a small, steady smile. Because my revenge was never about becoming a monster. He tapped the framed comic page gently. It was about learning that true strength isn't losing control. It's mastering it. Kabir nodded slowly, shame and gratitude mixing in his eyes. As Kabir left the office, Aarav felt something unexpected. Peace. The monster inside him didn't need to roar anymore. It had evolved. And in that quiet victory, Aarav realized something powerful. The world may create your anger, but only you decide what it turns you into. And sometimes, the greatest transformation isn't becoming the Hulk. It's becoming stronger without ever turning green.